Hi, it's Jim Michelle Birdsong. This is part 3 of What's So Great About Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And I talk about the past lives of some people. And Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. is now being as Lou Ranziger, my grandson. And I was talking in part 2 about the job that I credited with Dr. King for being responsible for me being able to get, because they didn't have many black airline stewardesses when I became a black airline stewardess. There were very few, and you had to be you had to be tall to be an American Airlines stewardess. You couldn't be short. So anyway, I was saying that I survived 2 near misses on the airplane, and the skies are too crowded. That is why planes and helicopters are destined to be banned, except for royals and heads of state and emergency medical personnel. And SpaceX will have to dismantle its satellites. Elon Musk has no right to invade the heavens with machines, and neither has anyone else. Space invaders. The sky is the limit. The Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial opened to the public August 22, 2011. After more than 2 decades of planning, fundraising, and construction. Location: 1964 Independence Avenue, Southwest Washington, D.C. The height of the memorial, the statue of Dr. King, is 30 feet. The official address of the monument, 1964 Independence Avenue, Southwest, commemorates the Civil Rights Act of 1964. This article is about the memorial in Washington, D.C., with the National Historic Site in Atlanta, Georgia. See Martin Luther King Jr. National Historic Site. Okay, so I went there, and it said Martin Luther King Jr. National Historical Park Museum in Atlanta, Georgia, encompassing Dr. King's birth home, Ebenezer Baptist Church, where he was baptized and where he and his father both pastored, and his final resting place, 450 Auburn Avenue Northeast, Atlanta, Georgia, 30312. Now, this said final resting place, but that's for his Dr. King body, because the energy, the spirit of Dr. King is in Lou Ranziger. It's still alive. Okay, so what's so great about Dr. King? He focused our attention on what we can control. Our character, the kind of person we choose to be. He declined the use of violence to get make his dream come true. Freedom for the black people. He pursued his dream, what he genuinely cared about, helping people achieve equality of opportunity, all things being equal. What is so great about Dr. King? He left the world a better place than he found it. His life was so great he earned another human birth in less than the 1,000,000 years it usually takes after death to earn another human birth. Another chance being at the top to save the world from dissolution. What's so great about Dr. King? His bloodline gives us Dr. Elveda King, a member of the Frederick Douglass Bicentennial Commission, Frederick Douglass now being as Dr. Thomas Sowell. Elveda Celeste King is an American activist, author, and former state representative for the 28th District in the Georgia House of Representatives. She is a niece of civil rights leader Martin Luther King Jr. and daughter of civil rights activist A.D. King and his wife Naomi Barber King. Wikipedia tells us this. On November 3rd, 1983, President Ronald Reagan signed a bill making the third month of January as Martin Luther King Jr. Day, marking the third month of January as Martin Luther King Jr. Day. The holiday was to begin in 1986. In January 1986, the first national Martin Luther King Jr. holiday was observed. American Negro, Black American civil rights leader Martin Luther King Jr. is awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for his nonviolent resistance to racial prejudice in America. At 35 years of age, the Georgia-born minister was the youngest person ever to receive the award. Okay, that was reported by the History Channel. Song to listen to if you want to feel inspired. It's called Abraham, Martin, and John by Dion DiMucci. Former U.S. President Abraham Lincoln, now being as Anthony Tony Robbins. Martin, Abraham Martin. Martin, Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., now being as Lou Ranziger, son of Melanie Lynn Spear, who has been as St. Patrick. Former U.S. President John Kennedy, now being as Kyle Cashew. This is how this is JFK reincarnated. Former U.S. Attorney General Robert Kennedy projected himself as Steve Doocy, host of Fox and Friends and Fox News Network. This picture, this is Michelle Birdsong here. Showing a t-shirt with her son Sing Birdsong and a granddaughter on it. And this little girl's holding a book that Michelle wrote with her daughter Robin called Sneezy the Greasy Babysits Abigail. But why is this picture here? Because Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. being as Lou Ranziger, his uncle here, Sing Birdsong, singer, songwriter, musician, appeared with Jill Kniff on Luscious Jackson on Steve Doocy's show Fox and Friends. Okay, there's no such thing as a coincidence. Character definition. Noun, because he said judge the person by the content of his character. So what is character definition? The mental and moral qualities distinctive to an individual. Your mental and moral distinctions. Mental would be the mind, the brain, and moral would be the heart. So your heart and your mind, brain makes up your character. Running, the example sentence they used was running away was not in keeping with her character. Certainly not in keeping with my character. Similar words to character, personality, and nature. Your nature. He's talking about your nature. 2 definition, a person in a novel, play, or movie. Similar words, persona, person, role. The archaic definition of character is inscribe, rhymes with describe, and engrave. When you're in your grave, that's how people know what kind of person you've been, unless they've been paying attention all along. Okay, so enjoy Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s holiday, and remember, it's a day on, not a day off, and it's about serving people on that day, doing something for somebody. Maybe you could cook mom's dinner instead of mom cooking your dinner. All right, so on.